Okay, let me share my screen here. So, as since we are beginning this course, I would like to walk you through some of the important aspects of this three folders before we jump into the ramel. Okay. As even though you went through, if you don't have questions, I think it's little beneficiary if I go through this once more. So let's go into this first session, right? Here you can just walk through by yourself and you'll get an idea. Introducing the course, right? This is just introducing how we will be continuing on this course, how the training will be in the MuleSoft. So, Sahith, this will be a little challenging for you as you don't have prior experience on IT, right? We are
Yeah.
talking about the web services. You have to uh, have an idea on what web service is, what exactly web service is, and why what we are doing here, right? Especially with this tool MuleSoft. Why what is this tool used for in the IT industry? So to get that knowledge, I've recommended a couple of a video and some um,
Yeah.
we- yeah, if you went through that, then you'll get some idea on what this is, what we are talking about. Yeah. Okay, so yesterday we have downloaded the students file, right? And the MuleSoft Training Learning Management Systems. And we also got the Anypoint Studio running successfully on our local, and also installed a couple of softwares, Postman and also Advanced REST Client. And then we also had the account, Anypoint platform account. So here two accounts, right? One is the training account, which I'm in right now, right? And also one account is the Anypoint platform account. So these are the two mandatory steps and accounts you should have. And then you have to download the student files. So have you guys downloaded the student files here?
Yes.
How about others?
No, I haven't downloaded a student file, but I have downloaded everything yesterday we have discussed in the session.
Right, we also discussed this. So please log
Yeah.
into your training account.
Uh, Actually, as I said yesterday, like we just shifted recently to the US. Like all the things here were not so proper. That's the reason we are just logging in the phone. And in the meantime, like yesterday at the evening time, I have done everything that I have gone in the session. And the same way today also, by seeing the recorded session, I will finish everything.
This might work in this session and previous session, but following sessions it is
Yeah.
hands-on because you have to have the system handy.
Probably tomorrow, I guess. I went to the T-Mobile and uh, applied for the Wi-Fi and everything, and also everything going to fix by tomorrow. So probably from the next session, I will join through the my computer.
Yeah, this sessions will be on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yes, sir. Actually, we had shifted here 3 days back.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
also saying for Sahiti also, so make sure you have your laptop ready and do exactly what is been asked, right? So that, see, basically, I'm spending 2 hours of time and I have a lot of works to do, just like you guys. I'm also spending all my energy and efforts and 100% efforts to make you get trained. I don't have to do this actually, but since you will get idea on MuleSoft and if you get job, you and your family and lot of people will also get beneficial, right? I'm doing for you guys. You should give your 100% whenever you attend this training. Make sure you follow the steps and instructions very carefully from now and make use of this training. Don't just assume this training as any other trainings. You might have attended some of the trainings in the past and may not understand and just whatever your experience may be, but this is going to be a little more hands-on. And if you attend this training with your 100% of interest and determination, this will be beneficial for you. I'm not going to get anything from this out of this, right? I am also spending time to make you aware of this software and get trained so that you'll get job and you'll see a better future tomorrow. So please do respect this training and follow the guidance and take it little seriously so that it's helpful for you. Not nothing. I don't get anything out of this. So shall we commit to that basic rules, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Agree.
Okay, great. Yeah, so there will be lots of hands-on, like I'll be sharing my screen and explaining you, and then you will also be doing simultaneously on your systems. So these steps are crucial. Sometimes you will be sharing, sometimes you might get errors, and you may not have time to get back to me if you do offline, right? So we'll do in class, these 2 hours we'll use maximum. If you really participate with all your interest and consciousness in these 2 hours, you'll be good for rest of the day. You will understand everything. You can, if you have more interest, you can practice. If not, these attending these 2 hours will be sufficient for you to get good idea on MuleSoft. Because I also got trained in the same way as you are getting trained. A trainer also spend his all his time, and I also spent my interest on learning just like you have done, you are doing right now. But that is only effective when you are really paying your all attention and learning with some passion and love. So that is the basics I'm expecting from you guys. So once your computer is set up, right, with all the softwares and the Anypoint Studio, the Advanced REST client, and the account in the Anypoint platform, then we can go to the next course. So here in the introducing application networks, right? Let's get into this introduction to introducing a new IT operation model. Here I have found few points that I felt important to explain. So here, if you see, we have a web app API on the top. And then we have some of the backend resources, SAP, Salesforce, or your database. It could be any of these backend systems, right? How does this web app access these backend systems? It can directly call them, but it's not recommended and it doesn't want it. It wants some other business logic to be performed. See, we have a database with lots of data in it, and then someone wants to access that. They can't. Even a security issue that someone directly access this backend resources or the data from the database. So we'll have some business logic, like when user asks for only particular records, then those records have to be filtered and given back to the request. Like a college is there and college database is here at the bottom here. And then a student is trying to log in and get the data from the college database. But he would like to get data only for his class, not he doesn't care about the entire college or any other class. So he'll ask for the data of his class. So once he send a request, this backend database doesn't care what is being asked. It has the database, it's a place to store data. So in the middle, we'll have some services. These services will take that query and then send that query to it will form a query and it will convert the incoming request from the web app into the language where the database understands or any of these backend systems understands. In that, language it will convert and talk to the backend resources and then pull the data. Again, it will convert the data which is been pulled from the backend resources into the language where the web application will understand, where the student will understand. Like all the UI which we are seeing here, this will not be the form where the data stores in the database. It will be binary, zeros or ones, or it could be any other format which is not readable. So this format will be pulled by the middle services and display in our screens or the user who requests the data in an understandable format. This is what happening here. So this web application is requesting some services from the backend, and this request is going through order status, order history, and then aggregated custom data services, and then pulling it back. So in this hierarchy and in this approach, there are few problems. One is that this is the requirement, and a team of people can accomplish this within the budget which has been assigned to complete this project. But it is a limited opportunity for reuse. Today, this business use is there, and tomorrow someone else comes, and then a new system comes, right? A new database may be coming, or a new resource is present. So, again, adding that will be a challenge, and there is no reuse. You probably need to write everything again, and these are very tight coupled. Let's assume this service is gone, or this service is down or not functioning, then these will be affected, and entire top like web application, order status, order history will also be affected because of one this guy is out. Or let's assume this database is down, then entire this hierarchy of people are not able to access the service. This is called tight coupling. If one is disturbed, everything gets disturbed. They are all tied together, tight coupling, right? And that will cause the brittleness of this experience. And also, it's very hard to govern, right? Uh, if you want to find out where the error is happening, it's hard to find because this basically looks very confusing and hard to govern. I don't know where to fix if something happens, and it does meets the business requirement for that time, but later it may not be really. It will be a headache to maintain such a system. So to address these kind of issues, MuleSoft has come with different approaches, and we'll walk through those steps. So in here, as I spoke, this will be a mobile API in the beginning, and then tomorrow someone else comes and they wanted a new application to be visible on a tablet or um, an iPad or any other web app. So again, you have to pretty much rewrite because they're all tightly coupled. Here, the order status, order history are the same, but used for different mobile API because a new user came in and new services has to be built. In this way, how many services will you be building? It keeps growing, right? And here, if you see the web and the sprider is an indication that they are becoming old and not being really up to date. And it's hard to disturb them. Once written, no one likes to touch them. If you disturb something, they are tightly coupled and everything fails. So this is the disadvantage of the designing of APIs, right? So for this, MuleSoft API-led connectivity approach is an approach where you segregate the services in between the requester, the one who is requesting the service, and the provider of the service. At the bottom, you see SAP, Salesforce, and any other backend service providers. In between these requester and responser, producer, the services which we have need to be properly organized. For organizing these services, MuleSoft proposes this API-led connectivity in which we have three layers. One is called the system level layer APIs, and the top one is called process layer APIs, and above that is called experience layer APIs. System layer APIs, as the name says, this level of APIs or the services are connecting to the backend systems. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. If you have any questions, you can always interrupt me and ask or raise your hand. I'll get back to you. And in the process layer APIs, these APIs are the ones who are doing the process in between the backend systems and the experience layer APIs. Like these system APIs will be just like a layer connecting the backend system, so that it pulls the data and then keeps it ready for the process APIs to process them in the business logic, the filtration or the conversion, mapping, and massaging of the data. Everything related, something happening, changing in the data will be happening in this process layer APIs. So these are mostly heavyweight APIs in the business, in the day-to-day business. So in the process layer APIs, we process the data which is gathered from different backend systems. And once the processing is ready, they will be sent to the experience layer APIs. So the request comes in this form, comes down and gets the response and goes back in the same form back to the application. And then what we are trying to do here we are uh, we are enabling and empowering the entire organization with this. What is the advantage of this? Because see here, the same services we've been talking here, right? Order status, order history, and these services. Now here they are reused. So a mobile API came in and web API are already there. So they just have to call this already predefined services. They don't have to build again. So that is the advantage. And see here, now the tolls and UPS or FedEx and new services we are trying to consume. They are already there. We just have to build new backend systems, system layer APIs, and then they can be again processed in a different process layer API. And we don't have to rewrite the two services which we just spoke, and that they will all be consumed. This is like a Legos, and it's easy to govern, and they are loosely coupled. That is the advantage of doing this approach. Then in every project adds some value to the application network. So we are trying to achieve this, and the overall we might be somewhere here. We are trying to do something here, and then in the entire organization, this might be your project that you are working in your team, right? There might be multiple projects, multiple things, multiple people working on multiple different uh, different different jobs here, right? So when you combine all of them together, that might be looking like this. So since you have such a big um, things going on in your organization, maintaining them comes the priority, because you cannot have so many duplicate things. It's just waste of resources, and building them also consumes a lot of time. It's a waste of uh, time for developer and tester, and everybody's time waste. So to maintain them comes the real crucial aspect of reuse, and making the organization more resourceful, right? So there comes the speed, agility, and innovation. If there is something which is already there that I can reuse, then that's a speed, right? And it's also agility. And also when we are building something, we build in a way such that it is future proof. Future proof means once you build it, it can also be used for enhancements in the future. and also it can be used for much better services. So that there comes the innovation. So all of these crucial points, check marks, will come and satisfy the requirement when we use this API-led approach. So this emerges the bottom up via self-service. So whoever wants whatever they want, they can just self-serve instead of building a new team and writing the code again. And this also provides visibility and a lot of security and governability, right? Since some we are consuming SAP and something is failing, we know that SAP system API is calling this and sending it over to the process API, which is doing something with the SAP. So in that way, we know where exactly to pinpoint when an issue occurs. So the best thing to say about this is it bends but not breaks. So something happens, it's still tangible to change or make better out of it, but it doesn't break like in the tightly coupled approach we spoke earlier. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what do people mean when they say API, right? Uh, they could be referring to number of things. An API means application program interface, where interface definition defining a file, right? Defines what you can call, what you send it, and what you get back. That could be an API. Or API can also be a web service. An API can also be a proxy. So all these are APIs. So you don't have to get confused whenever when someone says APIs, it could be any of this. It could be just a definition file or a web service or even a proxy. And then this is the first walkthrough. In this walkthrough, we'll look at and explore documentation about APIs. So to get started, you'll all need to get into the AnyPoint platform. So this is one place where you can, it's called API Guru. So if you open this, where is that? This API, right? Sorry, this website. It's called apis.guru. So here you can see multiple APIs that are already up and running. You can consume them and you can test them. So this will do something here. So let's get started from the beginning. Browse the apis.guru API directory. So this is the API directory, right? And then explore the API reference from an API Wemo and explore the API portal for an API to be used in this course. Okay. Browse the APIs as Guru and the API directory in the web browser. Navigate to this page and scroll down and examine various APIs which are available. And we have just done. And then we'll look for the Wemo. We got it. And then in the new browser tab that opens, click API reference in the left side navigation. So I think we have to click this, open this, and the new window opens. And here you see all the documentation about the API. And then here, if we see, we have all the details. And we can go to the API references here at the bottom. Here you see an API we can use from our Postman or ARC, Advanced REST Client. Okay. And here, so this is something you have to know as a MuleSoft developer or any web service developer or being and working in IT. These are the codes which the web service responds whenever a request comes in. So a code and a message associated to it. Basically, this code language, when it says 200, it means okay, the request succeeded. And there are few methods that you can use to call a service. What kind of method? Get method, delete, patch, put. So 200 can be used to any of these methods. And when it says 201, it means created. A new resource or object is collected. That will happen only with the post. You can't write while you're coding, you make sure you're using and be mindful of what code you're returning, because once we start developing APIs, we work on all these codes and what kind of codes we are sending, and even what kind of codes we are addressing and handling. So be mindful. If you don't know on what codes to use, do some research in the Google. You'll always find answers, and based on that, be mindful on what codes you are sending and what codes you are receiving in this development, right? And when it says 304, it means not modified. Nothing was modified by the request. So it will be with for the patch and put. When it says 400, it's a bad request. The request could not be performed by the server due to the bad syntax or other reasons in the request. And this 400 can be occurring to any of the method, any of the request method. And 401, all these error messages, most of the error messages can be occurring because the web service is responding to you. And that can be for any of the methods you are requesting. So 401 means unauthorized, 404 resource not found, and 500 server error. By knowing these error codes, you know what is happening. Bad request means your request is bad. It's nothing to do with the service up there, which is running, right? Unauthorized means you are using bad credentials, or you may not be using any credentials, or you're not sending a password or username correctly. Then you'll get this kind of 401. So based on the responses the server sends for your response, you can troubleshoot what is happening with the request. And resource not found, that means you are trying to access something which is not there, basically. That is 404. Server error is something, this is something which says server side something is wrong, and it's not, that's not on your side at least to know. So identifying and recognizing these error codes will be like a part of your job in day to day once you start working on the MuleSoft or any web service kind of related jobs. Now we'll go to the walkthrough of 1.2. In this walkthrough, you make calls to RESTful API. You will use advanced REST client to make calls to the unsecured API and implementation. And we'll use these four methods and use advanced REST client to make calls to a secure proxy, API proxy, not just implementation, and also proxy will test. Use the API console in the API portal to make calls to managed API, making a mocking service. Use API console to make calls to API proxy endpoint. So all of you, please open your advanced REST client. If you don't have, please install. Please give me a response once you install the advanced REST client. For your purpose, I'll also install. I'm using Mac, so I'm downloading this DMG. Are you all ready with the advanced REST client up and running? I got mine just now.
Hello. In
Yeah.
assets which I need to download, I mean, it's I got 15 assets.
Did you go to
So Jitka, instead of advanced REST client, do you think Postman is enough, or do you see any?
Yeah, I mean, going throughout these sessions, there are
Okay.
few places where we use authentication and all, which is friendly to advanced REST client. I don't
Okay.
know why they use this, but yeah, this is part of MuleSoft training. Um, so I'll send a URL in the chat. Open that and then download from there.
I'm using Windows laptop actually.
Okay. What is downloading when you click on install? Okay, you see this, right? Here at the
Yeah,
bottom you have exe.
yeah,
Download that.
it's done.
Okay. So have you created your training account or not yet?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Because we need to get access now, this snippets.txt. So we are jumping in the training now. No, we'll all be doing the hands-on from now. So let's get the softwares and tools, everything ready on your systems. So we can jump in to the action.
Okay,
So once you create account, if you face any challenges, let me know. I can guide you.
okay.
You can download the resources from resource tab here beside the launch button.
What should I give company email?
You can just give the same email you put it in the normal email place.
Okay.
Varun, did you get this response? Did you try to hit the flights web services?
I am trying it. One moment.
In the snippets file, in the line 12, you can
Mm-hmm.
grab that URL and paste it into the
Get okay.
ARC and click on that arrow to send. You'll get a response 200.
I have created my account. Do I need to go to resources or services?
Yes, resources.
Okay.
Oh, no, not on the top here. In the training.
In the training? Okay.
Yeah, in the training. And then do you see this getting started with any point platform? Register to that course.
It's showing start your journey with any point platform or
Yeah,
should I go with training?
getting started with any point platform.
Okay.
Self-paced. Varun, did you get the response?
Yes, Joe. I got 200 status. Okay. Yeah.
And also the body, right? All the
Yeah.
flight details. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So this task is to test the web service that is already available, right? So basically,
Yes,
consuming the web service.
correct.
Yeah. So Saiti and Anil and Varun, so you know what you're doing, right? Yes, Vijay, yeah. You are calling a web service which is already up and running. So it's developed by someone and it is already there, and you are consuming it from the postman or a REST client. Okay. So in MuleSoft, either you sometimes you consume the existing services, or you will develop the web services and deploy so that the other clients can also consume your web services.
Okay.
We are
So, yeah,
web service,
good.
web service. Yeah. Web service, right? Yeah, try to read what is a web service. I think by this time you should have already know what is a web service and what is an API.
Yeah.
Simple, right? Web service is nothing but just on a high level. It takes a request or input and process it and sends a response back. That's all. So you in from REST client, you have sent a request, it processed it, and it returned the response back. Okay. So sorry, Kiran. I just
No,
want.
thank you, Vijay. No problem. Yeah. Sahitya, have you downloaded the file resources?
Yeah.
Okay, if you open this snippet text file, in the line 12, you will find a URL. Are you able to see that?
Give me a minute. I need to download student files, right?
Yes, the zip file in the
Okay.
resources. Yeah, the
In the
zip file.
resources, I need to download this file.
Mhm. Once you unzip that, you will find these 4 files, 3 folders and 1 file.
Yeah, I opened snippet.
Okay. In the snippet, if you see on the line 12, you will see a URL. So copy that
Okay.
and go back to your advanced REST client, ARC, which you installed, right? And paste it in the here URL place.
Okay.
And the method should be get.
Okay.
And then
Get it.
hit the blue arrow here.
Yeah.
Did you get 200 okay?
Yeah.
So what you have done now is, as Vijay said, you are consuming some service written by somewhere else and deployed somewhere else. You are a client now. You are trying to access flight details. So as you see in your data, all of you at the bottom, you see some of the departure, a flight's ID and the flight code and what is the price, departure date, origin, destination, number of seats empty, and the plane type, right? Total seats. So these are all the flight details you are accessing right now. So this is how if I have a travel agency and I'm trying to check on the flights, so I'm consuming this API, right? So I'm a consumer and this is a provider, the guy who is providing this details. So this is what happens. This is the web service that is up and running, and that we are consuming it. So we are a client now. Does it make sense, all of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I add one point here?
Yeah, please go ahead, Vijay.
So, guys, have you booked flight tickets using third-party vendors, Priceline or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how does the Priceline or other third-party vendor gets the uh, details of the various flight prices? Like, let's say American airline prices, they might have a different prices, right?
Yeah.
So, how does the Priceline will get the American flight information or American Airlines price details?
Yeah, they will check in some websites.
Yeah, website. But how does that website gets the data from the various? Uh,
Yeah, portal or servers.
yeah. So basically, this price line or third-party vendors consumes different or different airlines web services. They expose the web services so that the data can be accessed by the uh, third-party vendors.
Okay.
Because Priceline doesn't have direct access to the American airline databases, right? The American
Mm-hmm.
databases, they will not. American Airlines, they will not give access directly to their databases. They expose the web service so that the third-party vendors consumes their web services and then provide that to the customers. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, Priceline will consume the web service of various uh, flight companies to get the data and display the data on their UI. That is a website.
Okay.
Yeah. Just I wanted to give a high level visualization how it works.
Yeah, awesome. So whatever you do in the job, right, in your job, you have to understand what you are doing and where it's taking you, right? If you understand those in every step of your job, that will make you a better developer or better at whatever the position you are. So analyze what you are doing. If you have questions, ask and try to know. Be curious to know what is happening and what we are doing. Just don't blindly follow these steps. If something doesn't make sense, feel free to ask. I encourage questions and it should be an interactive session, not one way. Okay? So we just consumed and it's a success response, which is good. You are all getting a success response. Congratulations. And we completed this walkthrough. And then one and also here, right, in the response, you can also see a raw one moment. If you want to add any query parameters, that means a particular flight I want, right? Like I want a flight with the ID as 3. Okay. In this case, I think let's try. Okay. In this case, let's add a query parameter. If you click on add and put the name as ID and the value as 3. I don't want any other flight, just with the flight which has the ID of 3. Okay. And then I click on close and send. I think it's not taking that. But yeah. Oh, yeah. And other thing is this response, whatever we are getting, this is a JSON response. JSON is a format which is popularly used across different organizations and all the web services. Earlier, it was XML based. So these are the two, uh, what do you call, the formats of web service, XML and JSON. So XML is tightly coupled, it's heavyweight, old, and more secure though, but JSON supports more securities than XML. And JSON is more developer friendly, user friendly, and easy to understand code, lightweight. In XML, you'll have so many tags enclosing a message, but in JSON, it's simple and straight. So here, when you click these three dots beside the response, if right now the response is JSON, so it's clearly visible. If not, if you have to see uh, some other response type, then you have to click on this raw format. So the raw format literally shows you what format we received. So this is the actual format. But advanced REST client is user friendly application. So it's trying to display you in colors, um, so that we can identify what fields and what are text fields, what are numerical fields, what are values, and what are the um, field names, right? So green, in red we can see. But when you go to the raw session, it's all just data, JSON data. Okay, and let's continue. So as we just tried to filter out the number of flights we are getting, we can add a destination. So right now, destination is here, and then copy this destination, and then where do we add the query parameter, like the filter criteria we just saw? Can anyone tell me?
At the top in the search bar, I mean, like, yeah.
Perfect. So I remove
There.
this and then add destination. And we want some flight which are going to CLE, Cleveland. Okay. So I'll basically select this and remove this and enter, close and send. So now I got all the flight details which are going to Cleveland when I add destination as Cleveland. Are you all able to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you.
Perfect, perfect,
So,
perfect.
so
Very nice.
basically, you are filtering based on certain criteria.
According to the thing which we need,
Yeah.
destination or flight number.
Yes. So that
And
is 3 parameter.
yes, this it's here you see a question mark, right? But we have not put the question mark. We have just added the name and value, right? But in the URL, it popped question mark popped out, and also the name and value popped out with separation of equals. So this is happening by the advanced REST client. So normally, this is how we differentiate a query parameter from the address. Okay. And again, in the address, you have to analyze what exactly address contains. In the address, till you have here, right? The first till the first slash, it's the domain name. Domain name means the one who is hosting this service, their name. This is the name. The training for American Web Services .cloudup.io is the domain where this service is up and running. And again, in the service, this domain can have multiple services, right? So in that, we are trying to have access the APIs. There might be n number of things under this domain which are up and running, but we are trying to access what? APIs. In the APIs, again, there will be any number of APIs. So we are interested in the flights API. So this is the flights resource. So flights is a one service which is running under APIs, which is running under this domain. This is what the URL shows. So you have to analyze in this way, and whenever the filter criteria comes in, that is a query parameter, there are two kind of filter criteria you can do. One is the query parameter, which we just saw, and you can also add a URL parameter. Let's go back. So URL parameter means which is also separated by a slash, just like we have separated all this, right? So in the flights, I am also again interested only in particular specific records which are identified using this ID. ID is a primary identifier here for all these records. So if I just enter 3 and send, I got the specific ID, unique ID. This is called the unique ID. So there won't be any duplicates of this. There won't be any flights with duplicate IDs. This is uniquely identified field for this entire record. So I have not included any name and value. Here is just directly the ID value. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we got that response. And now let's try something. So let's put a full stop here and then send. What did I get? 4 and 404 not found. So
Error.
I'm trying to access something inside this flights API which does not exist. So it says resource not found clearly in a message, right? If I type something like hi, do I have it? What is the expected output now?
Same
Service
404.
service not found.
Yeah. Service not found is when I put a wrong request. So flights is the API name, right? But here I have put just flight. So now it still says resource not found, right? Service not found is something else. We'll look into it going forward. So this is how you get the error codes which we discussed, 404. And if the domain name is wrong, like if I remove a O, so this is like you it has no idea what you're even requesting for, so it just fails straight away. But if you add something here, now there is no listener. So this domain is there, which you are called, which is good. Domain, I understand you call this domain, it says. But inside this domain, we are not listening to this request, APOI, anywhere. So it says no listener found for this endpoint. So you can recorrect that and then send again, then we'll get. So that's how the responses are. And then, okay, so again, there one more thing to see here is methods. Here we have tried the get method. Now let's try the post method to the same request. Now it says unsupported media type and it's 415, right? Let's look at the delete as well. So as you see different methods here, select delete, and then if you want to delete number 3 and send, you see flight deleted, but not really, you know. We are just trying, so you guys also can go ahead and just enter the ID number and select the method to delete and then hit it. Let me know if you can see this response.
Yes, Joe.
Perfect. So this is how different methods are used. Put means you're replacing, post means you are posting something, get means you are requesting something, patch means it's an rewrite, right? These are all the different methods
Means
you will
now
be
we
using.
deleted flight 3.
Yeah, you are actually, if you are using this method, it means that you wanted to delete certain API. But since this is a user friendly and we are using for training purpose, we are not really deleting it.
Okay.
But okay, but in your job and in your workplace, if you are requested to develop something with this delete method, then that will really delete. Delete means delete. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And now let's look at the 405, how to get 405. Click the send button, remove the URI parameter from the request. Okay, URI parameter from the request, and then 405. Okay. And now, so right now we want to delete something, but we are not saying what to delete, right? In that case, method not allowed. So maybe entire flights can be deleted in certain place if you don't implement this method not allowed, right? Are you able to understand this? I'm trying to, I've selected the delete method, but I have not specified what record to delete and sending a request. It means method not
Whole,
allowed. So here you cannot delete the entire service of flights. Here
whole
it says.
flights will get deleted.
Yeah, it will get deleted, but it's not allowed to do that. You are not allowed. That's what it's saying. It's error message 405.
Okay.
And then if you change it to post and send a request. So what is post used for? If you remember, I said what is post used for?
Post something.
Yeah, post
Like to
some
add.
new. Correct. If you want to post some new flight details, then you can use the post method. So right now I'm using the post method but not updating anything. So let's see what it says. It says unsupported media type. It means you have not entered any body, you don't know what you are posting, you just send you wanted to post something but you are not posting anything. So it's unsupported media type. You have to be using some
Yeah,
media to post. Yeah.
yeah, we are trying to post whole flights. That's why it says unsupported media type.
Yes.
No, no. Yeah, basically, you did not provide any request, valid request to post to post to that service. Basically, it's like this, right? So you are trying to uh, you are trying to submit an empty payload. Payload is a different technology again. But yeah, what you need to understand is you are not giving any input to this service. So if you look at that body, in the
Oh,
body, there is nothing. It's empty.
oh, okay.
It's like without entering the phone number, you are just trying to call someone, right? It will reject. Hey,
Hmm.
enter your number. That's all.
Correct.
We need
So
to be
in this,
specific about the info we are keeping.
sorry, can you say it again?
Am I right? We need to be specific about the information.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, say that is correct. You have to be specific every time, right? Because it's not a person who is listening on the other side. It's a computer. It's all code driven. So you have to be specific for sure. Yeah, that's correct. And in this, on the top of this line, right? On the top of this line, it's all your requesting information. And the bottom of this line is everything which is response, which you are getting from the request from the other side, from the server. Whatever you are getting, it is separated with this line. So everything on the bottom you see and you click everything. You are dealing with the response you are getting out from the you're dealing with the response. So now I want to really post a flight. I want to know how to post, right? I have a new flight details I want to post. So here I selected the post method, which is correct, first step. And then I have given the right flights method, sorry, the name of the API, right, where I want to post. And now I have to put the text which I want to post. So normally what kind of data can be posted, right? Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So what kind of data we like to post, right? Something similar to this so that it will accept. So let's go into this post method again. And once you click post, you will see a new tab popping up here. It says body, right? Click on this body. And then here on the drop down, um, yeah, select JSON here. Meme type is JSON on the right side. Okay. And then go to your snippets folder again. On the line 14, you will see American Flights API post body. So we are trying to post something and select from the line 15 to 23. So select that body, copy, and then come back to your advanced REST client and paste it in the body. And then send it.
Can you repeat it again?
Sorry?
Can you repeat it again?
So where are you at right now? Have you selected the
From
post method?
I have selected JSON.
Okay. JSON you selected, and then go to your snippets folder, snippets text file,
Okay.
snippets, yeah. And then copy line 15 to 23.
అది దొరకట్లేదు.
So snippets file will be in this folder, downloaded folder, zip file from the resource files, right? You downloaded from the portal resources. In that,
Actually,
this
in Windows, the TXT file, the snippet file, they don't provided the numbers. So we are searching like the 15 to 22.
okay. Search for American
Yeah,
Flights API post body.
yeah, all right. We got it.
Okay.
Okay,
So
thank
there
you.
you copy that JSON object. This is called a JSON object, okay? From open curly braces to closing curly braces, it's called one object. And
Okay.
copy that and paste it in this body window, in the body.
Yeah.
Okay? And then click on send. Did you get the response?
Yes.
What did you get there? The code, response code.
Yes. 201 created. Yeah.
Did you get 201?
Yeah. 201.
Weren't you?
Yes, Joe, same thing.
Okay, awesome. So it says in the message again, flight added, but not really. So if we keep adding multiple flights, same flight everybody, then it's a redundant. So just for training purpose, I just want to show you. So this is a flight we are trying to add. This is how you add in the body, in the post method, and selecting the right. So these are all different formats. You see, CSS, HTML, XML, JSON. These are all the different formats that a web service accepts and responds. So, and again, let me ask you a question. In this body, JSON body, I said this is a JSON body, right? Open curly braces to close curly braces. In this JSON body, there is one more JSON body. Can you identify?
Maybe near the plane.
Plain
Yes,
type to 400.
correct. This is also again a JSON object, a present inside a object. So this means that, what does this mean? Why there is a JSON object inside an object? So there could be multiple planes, right? Going from with this origin to this destination, there could be multiple flights. So I can have multiple flights, planes. So I copy this, put a comma, and then put one more flight. So it's an object. That what it means. Okay, but we are not putting now, and let's continue. Okay, created, and then okay, now let's do some experiment here. So right now I don't want the plain details. I'm just saying, hey, just update this data. Okay, and let's see what it says. It still says flights added, but not really. So we are here, and then return the request body and remove the plain field. We just removed comma. Okay, still post successfully. Okay, which is good. In the request body, remove empty seats key value pair. Now let's remove the empty seats, this guy. So once and remember this JSON, right? This JSON the last field will not have any comma separated value, because there is no value after this. We don't put comma. So right now, if I want to remove this field, if I remove and send, and there is a comma, it's not a valid JSON format, right? So you make sure you remove this one also, and then send. Now it says bad request. Why do you think it says bad request? Because the whatever we deleted, it's a mandatory field. So right now I also deleted the plain details. If I delete plain details, it's fine. It's not mandatory. It says we don't really require a plain details, the type and total seats. You can still post like this flight is going from this place to this place without a plain details. So it's fine. But the empty seats is mandatory. This guy wanted is data in a way that empty seats are always mandatory. Not only that, there could be any field that a person while designing the API can mention a mandatory or non-mandate fields. Based on that, the data will be maintained intact. So there will be no errors or mistakes happen in maintaining these records over this flights database or service, right? So it says bad request. Does it make sense what I'm trying to explain?
Yeah.
Yes, Joe.
Okay, cool. So that's how mandatory fields are there, and then make a put request to update data, change the method to put, and add flight of ID 3 to the URL. So he says let's change to put. Put is what again? Do you guys know? Do you guys remember put method? What is it is used for?
No.
Put method is to replace something. Like if I have something on 3, right, and I want to replace. So I'll send this. It says bad request, and then I'll put back this details back here, and then send a request. So I'll say put this. So this, since I said replace, the seat numbers might change. So maybe one guy canceled his flight. Now the total empty seats is 201. So now I don't do a post method. Post method means the code of this unique, the record identifier has to be unique. It's a new record, post means. But I'm doing a put. It means something has updated, but for the same record, which is already existing, right? So here I'm trying to just update. I just want to update the seat number of empty seats. So I don't have to do a post method there. I can do a put method. It means for the same code, same price, same flight, I am just updating the total empty seats as one more added. So in this case, we'll use the put method and then send. It says flight updated, but not really. Are you all able to do this step too on your systems?
Yes.
Yes, Joe.
Okay,
Guys,
awesome.
this HTTP methods is very important. That is a very basic. You guys have to go through what is post and what is put and difference between put and patch. Like Joe mentioned, put is to replace the entire resource. So in a real world, like let us say in your Windows folder, right? If you want to, there are two ways. if there is a document, either you want to update the existing document or replace the entire document. So this put is to replace the entire document or entire resource. And update is just you are updating the existing document or existing record or existing resource.
Okay.
Yes. And yeah, so whenever you select JSON here, there is one thing you have to observe. When you go back to headers here, it will automatically generate application/JSON. And I go back to body and select XML, and then see, it generated XML, right? Content type. So it says in the headers of this request what kind of body we are sending. It's an application, but /JSON or slash, and or it can be XML or any other format. So if we remove this and still send the body, right? Let's select JSON, and it will, and I just disable the content type and send. So it says it doesn't know you're trying to update something, but you are not letting them know, or the system, that flight system, know what to put, where to update. So giving this field is mandatory. So you have to select JSON and make sure the headers are still there. You are sending the content type. This is very crucial. There are many times as a developer that I and many of them have missed this content type, missed sending this content type, and keep updating, but it's not happening. And keep posting, and it is applicable for post method as well, not just put. Wherever the body is there, this is consider. If you don't send the content type, it doesn't understand. It says unsupported media type. You get it? Is it clear?
Yes, yo.
Yeah, remember this step. So everything on top of this line is your responsibility. This is your request. So be mindful what you want to do. If you want to get something, just use get, no body, nothing, and make sure you'll send a request without any like, you don't need the content type also. You just send and you get the response. But if you need to send something to the server, use the right method, use the right body, use the right mem type, and use the right content type header. These are all the rules you follow step by step, because there is no guy listening there for your request. It's a computer. It's a coded machine. It has to be specific. Now let's try to call a service which has a client ID and secret authentication. Now they have improved the security for a certain call. Okay, so in this case, let's note that the web service. So let's go back to get method, and then change the URL to this, copy, and then I come back here, paste, and click the send button. You'll get 401. 403, forbidden. Missing client ID is missing. So this is a different service. It looks similar, but if you see here, it says app dev American dash API. So this is a different service we are trying to call, which provides, this guy also provides the flights information, but we are trying to get, and he has some security. So this is some private service. So here it says missing client and client ID is missing. So what does this mean? Somewhere we have to mention the client. client ID, right? That is was the response we got from the server. So we wanted to send the client ID now, basically, because it's a secure service for the same information which we just played just a while ago, right? Now, 401 unauthorized, 403 forbidden.
So basically, you try to log in to your bank account without username and password, right? So we have not given client ID, client secret. So we need to compare like that.
Yes. So you can go back to your snippets folder. You'll always be going back and front for the snippets and the exercise we are doing. So keep that file open, the Word or text file open. Now we are trying to copy the client ID. Did you guys find that? American Flights API client ID for the app dev.
Can you give me a minute?
Yeah.
Where I can find this new domain, APDV American API.
This you can find in the training here, where you're seeing my screen, right? Here on the top. I copied it from here. If you want, I can send it over chat.
Yeah,
Do you guys see what I'm doing here?
Mm,
So have you put the client ID and client secret?
Yes, Joe.
Okay, so here, if you don't hit the button yet, send button. So if you see my screen, here I have three headers, right? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So in these three headers, one header is not required because I'm using a get method. Which header is that? Any guess?
I think content type.
Correct. Content type is not required because we are not posting any body. If you are posting a body, content type is required. So right now I'm just sending client ID and client secret because it says this is a secure service and it want a client ID. And let's send. It says missing client ID still. Let's see what is happening. Are you able to get success response, or are you getting the same 403?
Same thing, Joe.
What
Okay.
is 200 okay? Means success
200 okay.
response.
Yeah, 200 okay means success response. Did you get the response?
Yeah, I got 200 okay after adding client ID and client secret.
In the headers?
Yeah, in the headers.
Awesome. Okay. Can you share your screen and show us how it looks?
ఇక్కడ షేర్ చేయాలి.
Starting.
This is what I got 200 okay.
Okay. Um,
200 is
nice.
right.
Okay. On the so if you are seeing a screen, right, Kanil screen, on the URL on the top, it appended automatically appended some values, right? So Kanil, can you send those URL to us? Send that URL to in the chat, or are you in a different system?
Actually, I'm using phone as well as laptop.
Okay, okay, no
I,
problem.
I I will try to send.
So basically, whenever we put in client ID secret, it should be appending here. Um, I don't know if we are. Oh, okay, okay. Ignore
It's
that.
there.
We can see. Yeah, we have to click add here, right? And then, yeah, this is a small glitch in this software. Add client secret, and then here close, and now send. You will get a success response.
We can't see your screen, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me share my screen again. So this is a glitch or a problem in advanced test client. So what I've done is I have put the client ID secret in the headers here, right? Right? So now I click on this edit button here
Mm-hmm.
and then added the same details here, not there.
Okay.
And then once I added it here, then I find them popping out as a query parameters in my URL. Once I have it there, if I click send, I got a response, success response. Thank you, Kanil, for sharing your screen.
Okay.
Let me know, guys, if you get a success response.
Got it, Joe.
Great. Sahiti, you?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's how we got it. So let's do one more thing now. I think this guy is a private web service, right? And also, um, he might be having some policies. Like since this is a private service and I'm consuming it, and there can be policies applied to this service. Like if someone is requesting for multiple times, he can deny the service. Like they are trying to exploit the service, right? So that's what it says. Click the send button and then you should get click the send button several more times. You should get a 429 too many request responses with the message error quota has been exceeded. So I've tried multiple times. You guys can also post this click this multiple times, send. Let me know if you can see that error message. The aim is to get to 429 error message. Any luck?
No.
No, Joe. Maybe there is a certain time frame for it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll go through that later. So in the next step, let's go to our AnyPoint Exchange. So have you guys all, Saiti, have you got an account in the AnyPoint platform? If not, we can create one.
Okay.
So click on, so once you go to this, I'll send this in the chat. Go to this website and then click on register. Sorry, sign up. In the
Okay.
sign up, yeah. Have you created? Registered?
1 minute. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Once you have the account ready, uh, you can open this link in the chat and it will take you to the exchange. In the exchange, you'll see multiple APIs there. Exchange is a place where you can find everything related to MuleSoft, including documentation, APIs, web services, RAML, and connectors, and many other things. Exchange is a place where you can find stuff related to MuleSoft. It's just like an exchange place, right? Where you will find things to what you are looking for. So you can go there and find different things. And right now we are looking for the American Flights API. So whenever you click that link, it will automatically show you these number of
Yeah.
REST APIs present. So
Yeah.
go ahead and click on the American Flights API.
Okay.
Then you will get all the details. So American Flights API, this is the one we've been calling here, right? American Flights API so far. And this service, these are all the documentation of it. So if you see its supported operations is get, we just tested, add a flight, we tested, deleting, updating, we tested all this. And
Yeah.
if you see, and these are all auto-generated documentation. So whenever you write a specific API in any point in the MuleSoft, you'll see all this automatically generated, this nice UI, and also this in the summary you see this flights/flights which we just tested, and it has, and you can see what all. So right now we are, if you see, we were blindly testing if there was a get method and post method, if there is a delete method or put method. But to a specific API, if you want to know what all it has, maybe it doesn't have a put, maybe it doesn't have a delete. But how to know if what all it has, what all methods it's open for, what all the developer has coded, right? You have to come to this page where it gives all the details. This is called the documentation of an API. So in the documentation, you will see everything related to that service, how to get access, what all to call, what all not to do. So things like that. So here I see /flights/ID. So if you remember, I searched for /3 and I got only the flights related to that third ID, right? Cleveland flight. And also flight/ and then query parameter, I set destination equal to Cleveland. So these are all the resources. So if you click on this get, now you see a new window opening up, right? This says, um, here are the code samples if you want to call via HTTP or JavaScript. If you have a JavaScript for testing rather than advanced REST client. Now we have tested everything through this tool, right? But if you are using any code to call and use these details, suppose I'm coding something on JavaScript and I want to use how many total seats are available, this field. I want to take only this from this response. So in that case, I have to use this JavaScript method to call this service and then later use whatever the field I want from this object, JSON object. And Python, C, Java, this is a Java service. So if you use this, if you copy and paste in your code, you will literally call this service. And this is a curl command. Curl command is something where you can copy and then here on the top, I don't know if this browser supports curl command. Text editor. Curl command is something where, let me show you, import data. You can also basically search, use the curl command from terminal. Terminal or command prompt. Okay. Let me open Postman for you for this time. Don't worry what I'm doing. I wanted to show you how to use curl commands because this will be widely used once you are in the job. So this is Postman. This is just like Advanced REST Client, but just a different software. Okay, this is widely popularly used software, Postman. This is how it looks. So right now I copied a curl command here, right? And then whenever you see a curl command, you can go here and this is a curl command for this particular something, whatever I'm doing. So if I go and import and then when it's a raw text right here, file folder link raw text, here I can put the curl command. And once I put the curl command, which starts with curl curl, and then click on continue, that will import just like whatever the service we are trying to call, it will import that. So right now if I copy this, and also if you click this, you will generate a curl command for whatever you are doing. So when you have to, when right now I want to you all of you guys to test something. I can't give you every time the URL, every time the headers, every time the body, right? Instead of all that steps, you can directly generate a curl command and then give this entire command. I can, if I give you this command that includes body, headers, text, attributes, variables, everything. So that is the benefit of a curl command. I'm stressing it out because I want you to know what a curl command is. It's a easy way of sharing the web service call, whatever you're trying to call. That also works with the terminal or command prompt in the Windows. When you go for Windows R and run the command prompt, right? In the command prompt, you can use the curl command and it will do the same web service call as we are doing right now here. That is the benefit of a curl command. So these are all the documentation. Basically, we are just going out of topic, but um, yeah, if you see all of this is there, and if I don't have a postman or any point, sorry, this advanced REST client, I can still test this from here. If I select mock service and then select this and then click on put something in the client ID, client secret, which should not work, and you can see, yeah, I got a response. So you can basically test as this as a browser also. This is the advantages of using the MuleSoft Anypoint platform. So far, any doubts to the topics we have just discussed?
No, Joe.
All good.
Clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you are basically have to complete all these sessions as you see the first folder, second folder, the first one here, introduction to Anypoint platform. You have to be in this designing APIs. But I went through all this because to make you get familiar and highlight the important points. But before the next session on next Saturday, make sure you complete till designing APIs. So basically you have to complete till here. There is also quiz. Make sure you pass it. I'll make sure you'll share your screen and show me the quiz that you have passed here. It will be a check mark. If you are not passed, make sure you pass it. That okay, that will answer how good you are in this, how good you went through the training so far. Okay, and then we'll continue on the next session from the designing APIs. Okay. It will be all easy as you have walked through so far, right? Does it sounds difficult or like a rocket science? It's easy, right?
Yes, Joe.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, so far I haven't written any single line of code, but it's to test the service. It was just it's all drag and drop. Entire MuleSoft is like that. You can drag and drop, write less code. It is developer friendly and very easy to develop a API and deploy. Everything is very user friendly. This is like latest technology and best thing you can learn in the market right now. So be excited about this course, pay some attention, keep learning, and complete these two courses which I'm showing here, right? First and second modules. Then we can take it in a fast forward way. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm concluding the session now. Vijay, do you have anything to say?
Yeah. If you are done, Jyoti, I have just 5 minutes to discuss with these guys.
Yeah, please go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah. So today, can anyone tell what we have learned? Like just list out what topics we have learned. Anil or Sathi or Varun.